I mean, as I think about it, like I said, initially I was thinking, yeah, it probably hurts the Redskins because, you want to get Dwayne Haskins more reps, as many reps as possible, particularly working with the young receivers. We don't even know who number 2 is going to be with Harmon down. Is it going to be Cody Latimer, or are they going to throw out the rookie? Maybe it'll be Antonio Gandy Golden as the number 2. And what the hell are they going to do at tight end? Is it going to be Logan Thomas? Is it going to be Jeremy Sprinkle? What are they going to do at tight end? And so initially I was thinking, well, they just need as many reps as possible. It's one of those situations where preseason would help a young team. But as I think about it, man, and I think about that Terry McLaurin factor, Cakes is right. He was a monster. They knew they had it, and they hit him.
Mm-hmm. He had 5 for 125 and a touchdown in that opener against the Eagles. He definitely had a rapport and a connection early with Case Keenum. But, yeah, I just don't know, is Gandy Golden really going to make the leap from a guy who starred at Liberty to becoming all of a sudden a number 2 receiver now with Kelvin Harmon sidelined? I think that's a big ask for a guy when you haven't had any OTAs. You're going to have a reduced training camp. I don't know who that second guy is going to be. JP keeps bringing up Latimer. I mean, that guy, in my opinion, is barely hanging onto the roster, and he's got like a weapons charge against him during the offseason.
I mean,
I wouldn't expect a lot out of him.
Is he even still there? Is he still on the roster?
I believe he's still on the roster, but I mean, do you think that guy's going to look at his track record before being with the Redskins? That guy's done nothing in the league.
Right. Again, you have to have just overall muted expectations. As long as you have muted expectations, they can only surprise you.
Well, of course you got muted expectations. They won 3 games last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Have, these great, grandiose expectations.
Yeah,
like they're
nobody
does.
I don't think anybody does.
Only the true blind homers are with Ron Rivera and Dwayne Haskins is going to emerge, and they've got to maybe win in 9 games. I'm like, 9 games? They're going to have a 6-game improvement?
Well, hey, JP, to piggyback off your positive outlook, I think that the 0 preseason will help teams and coaches that are most disciplined. Mm-hmm. And I think Ron Rivera, in 2018, he was second in penalties, least penalties by a team. And then last year, before being fired, he was in 4th with least penalties. So I think that kind of gives the Redskins an edge in the first couple games of the season, at least.
I want to hear from Redskins fans. 800-636-1067. So assuming that this goes through, where the NFL has offered no preseason games to the players, and I can't imagine the NFLPA is going to say, no, we want preseason. They're going to accept that.
They're going to welcome that. Yeah,
they're going to accept that. The negotiations are ongoing, but it seems like there's going to be no preseason. Do you think this hurts the Redskins or benefits the Redskins? Here's another guy to talk about, Chase Young. I guess they're just going to, I'm not saying that he was going to play a ton in the preseason, but if you're preparing for Chase Young and you haven't seen him in the NFL, I doubt you just throw out a double in week 1, right? Are they going to double team Chase Young before he's ever played a snap in the NFL?
Probably not, but they'll judge pretty quickly. I mean, they make in-game adjustments.
If he goes in and envelops the quarterback on the first series, they're going to have to adjust their game plan.
It's kind of like what was it Jay Gruden did when Brandon Sheriff came into town and J.J. Watt smoked him in the scrimmage, and they changed him. They moved his position immediately.
You're not a tackle anymore, man. You're not Iowa anymore, man. You're a guard. You're moving inside.
Well, not only are they changing the offense, they're changing the defense too, and not having any of this prep it might be awful.
Yeah. But again, I think other teams are going to come down a little bit to our level. I don't know. I'm just excited.
What do you mean come down to the level?
Maybe it'll be upset again in week 1 against the Eagles.
I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen year to year. I mean, they're going to struggle, but I do think that other teams, they're with limited resources and limited time, they're not going to be hitting on all cylinders. So I just think that's a little bit of a leveling of the playing field a little bit.
So you think that the team lacks preparation? If other teams can't prepare like they used to, then
I think everybody will a little bit. I mean, I don't know preparation, but I mean information would be limited and reps will be limited, and nobody's going to be hitting on all cylinders.
I know, but I think you still have this Gruden mentality in your head that the team's ill-prepared week to week, like Gruden. It's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be different.
No. I think they'll be as prepared as they could possibly be.
Right, but when you're saying that they stoop down to the Redskins level, you're saying
because the Redskins talent level is not
talent level. They can be prepared, but if the Redskins don't have as many, talented and elite players as the top 5 or 10 teams in the league, they're usually going to lose those games.
Yeah. Their talent level is, it's fairly low. I mean, it's pretty darn low. Defensively, on paper, again, and we've been saying it for 3 or 4 years, they seem to have some decent pieces.
Well, particularly defensive line. But then you wonder about the linebackers and the corners, and they never seem to get the safety position right. Okay, we can like Landon Collins, but there are definitely some questions.
Well, I'm just excited, honestly, even though they have less talent there. I'm actually excited to see what Scott Turner brings to the offense. I really am. I want to see the kid that they're going to move around. Where was he from? Memphis or wherever the hell he was from.
Antonio Gibson.
I want to see what they do with him. He's going to be their poor man's Christian McCaffrey, allegedly. I want to see if Geis can stay healthy. I am excited about the receiver
Hey,
from
and
Liberty.
didn't Geis get hurt in the preseason as a rookie?
Yes.
I think
Blew out
so.
his ACL.
Like, we got teased by Darius Geis in the preseason. So, I don't know. Initially, I thought it's going to hurt the Redskins. No preseason. They need as many reps as possible, but I like that Cake's bought into my sneak attack theory a little bit.
I don't know how much I bought into it.
You have to have a guy, though, that becomes a Terry McLaurin. You know what I mean? Like, if the guys aren't good, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, I mean, the guys that produce at McLaurin's level for where he was drafted, that's very rare. I think you're being a little naive if you think Gandy Golden all of a sudden is going to jump in and be Terry McLaurin light in 2020. If it happens, that's great. I just don't. Do you see him being a guy who's like a 50-catch guy as a rookie? Maybe with the Hartman injury he is. I don't know.
Maybe 30 to 40.
I always overestimate Redskins receiver catch totals. I'm not gonna get into that business again.
You're not making that mistake again.
Well, I learned my lesson with the dog from TCU, Doxson. Oh,
right.
So many bad bets on him.
Right.
Terrible.
Look, this is just a year where you're just seeing what you've got in your cupboard. You're just you're just gonna see what you got. What kind? What? It's as simple as that. There's no expectations. You get to see what you got, and then you can see what you're going to go after next year, especially with the way the season's playing out, with no training camps and no mini camps and all that stuff, no preseason. This is just, let's get through this, let's see where we're at, and let's really gear up for 2021.
Do you guys remember kind of the goofy nuggets about Antonio Gandy Golden?
Hold on, goofy nuggets about him.
So Gandy Golden,
like trivia? I don't know.
Yeah. So he went to Memphis
Liberty.
He went to Liberty.
Yeah.
And he had 10 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns in 3 years. But if you actually go to his Wikipedia page in the personal life,
is he wacky? What's his
little
deal?
Wacky.
Okay.
For most NFL wide receivers,
Okay,
he may
so
be
he's
the only
eccentric.
one.
That's
where
okay.
It says he grew up performing gymnastics and juggling.
Oh, he's a
Well,
juggler?
you know what? You're joning a little bit, but first of all, the gymnastics helps with your flexibility, your strength, all of those things, and juggling. You don't think being a good juggler can help you bring the ball in when you're a wide receiver?
Of course it can help. I'm just
those are
saying
pluses, JP. You're
I'm not
goofing
saying,
on him.
I didn't say it was a plus or minus. I'm just saying it's unique. How many guys do you hear that were in gymnastics and juggling? And then, I can see EB's smile. I know
You're kind of joning.
Watch. I know what EB's going to bring up.
He's like me. He could solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute, Cakes.
I thought you were going to say he rode a unicycle.
And how about this? I love
I didn't
this.
say he was in the circus, Cakes.
He bowled a perfect 300 2 months after getting into bowling.
That
Bunch of
is
turkeys.
Well, it just
How's that even possible?
Well, here's how it's possible. He's a gifted athlete. He's an NFL level athlete.